Yell makes the stop in the secondary for Denver. 1st and 10. The fake. Good block in there, and down it goes. Caught at the 30. This is the dynamic Hill. He's in for 6. Tyreek Hill. Touchdown. What a block.
Take into your hands a plan. Your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour. Take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder. Work until you're prouder. And f*** all the doubters. They're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm f***ed off, it's these f***ing clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it.
What is happening, Dolphins fans? Show got pushed back a little bit. I'm sure you guys noticed. I see you in chat. Some of you complaining about it. Sorry. We were finishing up watching Hard Knocks and ran a little late. We were over on CB83's show, chopping it up with them. EM was there. Reason made an appearance. We just, chewing the fat, as they say. And had a good time doing that and caused us to run a little late. Sorry about that, everybody, but we here now. I got Color coming up here in just a second and Lou also in the back. We're going to talk about this stuff. Usually it's TMI Tuesday, no tonk today. Shout out to everybody in chat. Hit the like button. So we're going to talk about Hard Knocks a little bit, and we're going to talk about Monday Night Football. That's what we're going to do. Shout out to Flava J, John Featherland, Raph, Ronnie, Eccentric Dolphin Fan, Notorious JP. What's up, JP? Nay, Michael K. I see you in there. Friggin'. Of course, Michael K. going to come around because the Bills win and the Dolphins lose. And now the Bills are on the comeback when they're still in the hunt beneath 5 teams to even get in the playoffs. But we'll let that sit. Ronnie, what's up, buddy? Scrappy, Kevin, hello everyone. Donald, Q, hit the like button. Everybody on the way in. I'm gonna bring up Color. I'm gonna bring up Lou. And boys, what's up, Kevin? Boys, the offense just, what I noticed in Hard Knocks was that the offense struggled in practice this week. There was some miscues. There was some struggling in offense. And that kind of translated in the on the field against the Titans. And what's up, Fins Up 74? The coach was very clear in his speeches with the team in their meeting rooms about don't sleep on these Titans. They want to punch you in the mouth. They want to get you into a fight. And so no surprises. We know what kind of team they're going to be. We know what's going on. The surprises were the injuries that we sustained during the game. But even with everybody out, I hold this team that was number 1 in the AFC to a high standard. And the offense did not show up. Run game was pretty decent. Those sweeps were killing them. But I mean, the touchdowns that were scored on offense, I mean, I'm sorry, but the defense and special teams gave us those touchdowns. Defense scored one of the touchdowns. So, I don't know, boys. Am I off base here? What do you think?
Nah, Cap. I think you're spot on, and I'll start right there. Your last word was defense, and I'll start with the defense here. The people that are blaming the defense for last night's loss are the same people I've been arguing about blaming the defense last year for our losses. Again, we are an offensive-minded football team with the best parts of our team are offensively, right? We have a MVP candidate in Tua Tagovailoa. We have an offensive-minded head coach that is a genius. We have the most dynamic football player in the NFL today, and Tyreek Hill, even though he, was off and on yesterday, the fact of the matter is the defense played one hell of a game for 3.5 quarters, right? They had 2 drives where you could say they didn't perform. Okay, cool. But the fact of the matter is, Cap, you brought it up early on CB channel, and I thought it was a great point. The offense didn't score a single point on a Monday Night Football game at Hard Rock Stadium until the fourth quarter. They came in with, I think the 2 touchdowns you said were like 15 yards combined, like total yardage. Bro, the
All 3
offense,
touchdowns that they got were around 20 yards
yeah,
that
bro.
they needed to get for them. 3
Listen,
touchdowns.
the
I mean,
offense didn't show up, Cap. It is
they
what it
didn't.
is. You can blame the defense if you want. You can do whatever you want. The fact of the matter is, does McDaniel hold some blame? Yes. I get that there were some players that got off the field. Okay, cool. Injuries happen. But I think Tua, for his part, bro, he was not good yesterday. That is not the kind of performance you're looking for your starting quarterback, right? Your franchise guy. That, again, that we've all kind of admitted that moving forward, it should be Tua, right? I think people that want to label us as haters or whatever, we've kind of all came to the realization that Tua is going to be here. Well, if that's the kind of performance that I'm going to get from my leader, my franchise guy, I can't have that, bro. Because it was a piss poor performance yesterday from Tua, and again, McDaniel does have some fault in that. I don't think McDaniel coached a good game by any stretch of the imagination either. But when push comes to shove, whether we like it or not, in this business, there's only 32 guys that have the label as a starting NFL quarterback, and when you win, the quarterbacks usually get the praise, and when you lose, the quarterbacks get kind of bashed. And I think today is well deserved to kind of bash Tua. Not saying he hasn't played great this season, not saying that he's not the guy, but if we're just going from a yesterday perspective, Cap, it was
Mhm.
it was atrocious from Tua yesterday. It really
And
was.
there's too many people out here that get in their feelings about Tua as if Brian Flores, the boogeyman, is still here destroying his confidence behind closed doors, so he needs to be protected. No, we need to be able to stay objective and say that he had a bad game. I don't even think it was his worst game, to be honest with you. It wasn't. I've seen him play worse than that, and I've seen him still win those games. Again, where my gripe comes with it, where my frustration, as I said on CB's show, is that Tyreek Hill's out. We're down 4 offensive linemen. The run game's clicking. If Tua just gets a couple of throws and gets one passing touchdown, they put together one drive that nets them a touchdown the length of the field, we'd be singing a different tune about big games, Tua doing it without Tyreek, down offensive linemen, while we're not. We're singing it on the other side that we got to, Tua can't do this, Tua can't do that. That's the narrative that now we got to listen to until the next time. Because guess what? We go in and beat the Jets, and the Jets are going to give us all we can handle. Don't confuse that. We go in there and beat the Jets, and Armstead's back out there. Say Tyreek is playing as well. Hunt is playing. Yeah, I get it that we're down our best offensive lineman in Connor Williams. That sucks for him. I feel terrible about that. But things go a little right, and we beat a bad Jets team. Let's call it. No one's going to sing that praise. Now, we go in, come home and beat the Cowboys in a fashion, then yeah, maybe that'll be now I got to wait till the Cowboys game for that next big game for this narrative to take a back seat. You know what I'm saying? And even then it won't take a back seat if the Dolphins run for 260 yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground and Tua throws for 180. We won't hear how it was Tua that did it. And that's kind of, I just saw the beautifully plated scenario where the narrative could have been crushed, and all it did was give all these haters, all these trolls, whatever you want to call them, all the ammunition they got until we can hold them accountable. I mean, it just sucks. That's what it is, bro. That's it.
4 minutes. That's all we had to salt away, bro. And as pertains to Hard Knocks, which is what we're talking about, I find it absolutely laughable that they completely memory hold the fact that we had 2 drives between those defensive stands that failed. Okay? Where even if you get 1 first down on one of those drives and extend one of those drives, they don't have enough time to score 14 points. Bottom line. I think it's absolutely, it's like Lewis said, and I'll add to it. Same people blaming the defense. We've argued this now last year and the season before that. And the season before that. I want you to give any football team in this league 2 opportunities to come back from a 14-point deficit that just got put on you. Okay? And you've got 5 minutes, right? And you hand them back the ball twice, right? Pick any team in the league that's not going to take advantage of that and beat you. You know how I know this? Because the 4-8 Titans just did it to us last night. Pick any team.
I mean, look,
Absolutely ridiculous that we're even talking about the defense today. Yes, you can say situationally, okay, yeah, they gave up 2 touchdowns at the end when they shouldn't have. There should have been some kind of stop the bleeding. I get it. But you're
and you
going to
know,
tell me that in 56 other minutes of the game, our offense couldn't find no other way to put up 3 more points.
well, I'll say this: the passing game was definitely not there, and it was apparent. And the loss of Tyreek Hill has got to get Mike McDaniel really looking at how he's designing this offense to prepare for that type of situation. Who knows? Tyreek Hill might not even play, and this might be a silver lining good thing, because if this offense can figure a way to hum like it does without Tyreek Hill against the Jets, and Jets got a great defense, not a good, great defense, then that'll bode well for plays that Tyreek Hill can't be in for a quarter because he got nicked up or something, and Tua doesn't, this offense doesn't crumble as far as scheme goes.
Let me tell you
But
something else I've noticed people missing today when they talk about the defense. Oh, why? Oh, Vic Fangio. Oh, how do you? Oh, why do you call that? Well, when your offense has 2 possessions in a row where they can't take any time off the clock, how else are you supposed to salt the game away if you don't use the other team's offense to do it? It's called prevent. It's called you can't give up the sidelines because they can get out of bounds and stop the clock. And guess who you got on the other side of that ball? Regardless of whether he's a billion years old and hasn't been productive in a couple seasons, it's still DeAndre Hopkins.
And it was apparent the run game was actually working. And after the Titans scored the first of the final 2 touchdowns, right? They went 80 yards and 12 plays to score a touchdown with a minute and 54 seconds of time off the clock. The Dolphins offense got the ball back, and they ran the ball 3 times in a row and then had to punt. Running game was working. They ran the ball when they got it back, trying to bleed the clock. Titans obviously knew that that's what was going to happen.
Yeah, people like to throw around the word casual. Well, you know what? I've never called anybody a casual. I don't go lowbrow like that. But you
I
know
will.
what?
I'll do it for you,
But you know
Color.
what?
You tell me who you want me to call
I'm gonna
casual for you. I'll
break
do it
that
right
rule.
now, damn it.
I'm going to break that rule. If you don't understand that the type of defense we had to run that caused us to give up 2 scores was the only type of defense you can run in that situation when your offense can't salt away the clock. That's fundamental football. Sorry about you. If you want to call me a casual for thinking that and backing caping up for the defense, you're the casual. You don't know what you're talking about.
Get him, Color. Go, Color. Go ahead, Color. Get him.
I mean, this is a simple fact of
Shit.
football. When you can't salt away 4 minutes, how the hell else are you supposed to do it? You seal the sideline, you give up the middle of the field, you keep everything in front of you, and you make tackles. Well, guess what? They made some plays. We should never even have been in that situation. We should have been able to pin our ears back and go after Levis. We did that, as a matter of fact. And guess what? Both of the times we did that, our offense did nothing with the ball.
I love color cooking. Color cooking right now. That's what I know, Lou. Color's cooking.
Well, I'm going to finish this little
Absolutely.
grilling session with this right here. For anybody that wants to talk about the defense, and I'm sorry, I'm going to bring it back down to low energy.
Well, I can see Q's taking the casual bait right now with this 767 to 1 since last night.
I'd question the source of that number, first of all.
Well, the number is that all these games been played and never, ever has a team in that amount of time given up the lead to lose the game like that. And so here we are, and, on the wrong side of history.
Never ever has a number one offense not been able to salt away 4 minutes of a football game.
Whoa,
numbers
shit,
on that.
Color.
1,000 to 0.
Did you hear that shit, Lou? Damn.
I did hear that. And see, I think people have the wrong expectations now for this football team. And I'm not talking about anybody, us three on the panel.
Where in that 2,000 yards? Oh, I'm sorry, Lewis. Where in that? Raphael brings up 2K, and I'm not coming at Raphael. He's just pointing out the 2,000 number. Where in that 2,000 yards could have a first down come from last night to end the game?
Well, see, for me, I don't even care about not salting the game away. I think where me and Cap are, and I don't know if you would agree with this, Color, but this is what because I heard it all day today. Well, McDaniel should have ran the ball more. And the people that now, it was the defense. Okay, cool. Let me give you a game, right, where the running game was non-existent and the defense, in my opinion, never even got off the bus. And we can go back to week 1 against the Los Angeles Chargers, right? No running game existed for the Miami Dolphins.
Another 4-win team.
Right, a 4-win team, right? No running game, no defense, right? What did Tua do? MVP Tua said, I'm going to put the team on my back, whether shit is hitting the fan, right? My defense ain't playing. I don't have a running game. But Tua executed and got the job done. And yesterday, the leader of this offense, which is Tua, the guy that Color has already cemented, he thinks that Tua's the guy moving forward, right? Because Color's now a hater because Color's talking. And I'm a hater because I'm talking.
You know what? Mm-hmm. You know what? And that's why I just wanted to, before you continue to cook, Lewis, because, it's gotten to the point where, people can call me whatever they want anymore. And again, I'm going to bring it back down to low energy because this hater was at the game last night and didn't get home until 12:30 and doesn't have much of a voice last night because this hater helped manifest a touchdown for our defense last night. Where were you?
Yep.
Where were these people? Okay, and secondly, that was going to be what I was going to finish my grilling session with, was this. If you didn't watch the game last night, for whatever reason, you worked the graveyard shift, didn't get a chance to see it, slept till noon, and I wake you up at noon and I tell you, Zach Sealer had a pick 6, and we held Derrick Henry to 34 yards last night. Your question to me, and if it's any other question but this, you're a liar. Your question to me would have been, how big was the win? Enough said.
I would agree with that. And again, the reason I was bringing up the Charger game, because, again, today it's all McDaniel, it's the defense. We should have ran the ball. Well, I just gave you an example where the defense didn't show up, the running game didn't show up. Mike McDaniel, again, put the ball in Tua's hands, just like he did yesterday, and Tua got the job done. That's why, for me, my expectation is I get what everybody's saying. Yeah, in certain situations, yeah, sure, I would have liked to see us run the ball. But how can I get mad in McDaniel when everybody has told me that McDaniel breeds confidence into Tua? McDaniel is the one that created this level and this version of Tua that we're seeing now. So how am I supposed to get mad at McDaniel putting the ball in Tua's hands? He is our leader. And yesterday, again, without getting in your feelings, Tua and the leader of this offense, he didn't get the job done, which he has shown in the past he can do. So that's why I'm always going to be hard on Tua. Do I believe in Tua? Yes. But can I be objective and say what the real is? If Tua played better yesterday, we win that ball game. Now, yes, of course, the defense, to Color's point earlier, yeah, they could have get a stop. I would agree. Could we have ran the ball more? Again, I agree. But the fact remains, whether it's fair or foul, I'm not here to debate that. Quarterbacks, when we win, they get the praise. When you lose, they kind of get the shit end of the stick.
Well,
And
Lewis, I was
today's just
gonna
the
say
shit end
about,
of the stick for Tua. It is what it is.
I just wanted to say real quick about Tua for the people that want to call me a hater. This ain't even about Tua because you know what? All the fact that, and you heard it during Hard Knocks. I'll bring it back to the show. As far as Hard Knocks goes, you heard McDaniel say when Tyreek came back in the game, he pulls Tua to the side and he says, "We should throw it to him, right?" Well, why? How about you just throw it to the open guy?
Well, here's the thing. We're going against a team that
Well,
has
what I
the
mean, I'm
Patriot.
sorry.
Well,
What I
Color.
meant was what we know about Tua and his limitations and how you have to win with him and his, not just his limitations, but his attributes and how you have to use those attributes to win a game. Okay. That's all baked in already. What we saw last night falls squarely at the feet of the offensive play caller, period. And I'll go to my grave saying that. Yes, Tua had a mediocre game, could have played better, could have took it on his shoulders. I get it. But that's all already baked into what we know about how you have to win with Tua. And we're sitting here on 3rd and 2 when we have a running back who on at least 3 separate occasions I can think of in this season has taken the ball into the end zone from the 10 to 15 yard line. And we're throwing a fade route on 3rd and 2. One of the lowest, probably the lowest probability pass play in the
I hate that
history of
play.
the NFL.
I hate it. I hate that.
There's nothing Tua can do about that. He
That
put the
fade
ball where
route.
it needed. He put the ball where it needed to be for a 6'7" wide receiver.
Listen, we drafted freaking Devontae Parker because he caught that fade route in college like that. I don't want to. I don't like the specialty guys that catch that route. I don't like calling it. Not that you can't call it. I just don't like that. That apparently seems to be where we're trying to isolate
Yeah.
and scheme it. I hate that. I
And
hate
to
it.
answer to you, yes, I do. I do agree with a lot of what you say in that analogy. Absolutely. And that's my point. What we know about Tua is baked in. Mike McDaniel is doing Tua no favors by calling the lowest probability pass play in the history of the NFL on 3rd and 2. He's doing him no favors. For people that want to
Listen,
say, well, handing the ball off doesn't do him any favors because it doesn't give him another touchdown to Tyreek or whoever. It was Cedric on the first one anyway. It wasn't even Tyreek. People got that memory. That's a Mandela effect. The first one was Cedric.
that's right. I remember it. And I thought, why aren't we just punching it in here? That's what I remember thinking at that point.
It's not as if we don't have, it's not, we might struggle on occasion to run in the moment, but we have proven throughout this entire season to be able to take the ball from the 10+ yard line into the end zone. What? And forget
So
the fact that I think we passed the ball twice on 1st and 2nd down.
yes, and the team knew by watching Hard Knocks, the team knew what type of Titans team we were going to go
as
against.
seen in Seattle, you can careful McDaniel, because you can lose a locker room doing that. Just saying. I'm not saying he has. I'm just saying.
But I know what
careful.
you're saying. Yeah. So it's a Patriots style type of team. They want to drag you out, and what they were going to do schematically, and that's why they had, they were going to try to take Tyreek Hill away from you. And if you guys remember in the first game against the Patriots earlier in the year, they took Tyreek Hill away from us in that game. He only had 40 yards in that game, yet we were still able to edge out a victory in that football game. Tua still was able to put up 250 yards in that game on 30 attempts. They still figured out a way.
Now, do I want Tua to be able to go to the huddle and say, you know what, guys, Mike McDaniel is absolutely batshit crazy. I'm handing this ball off. Do I want him to do that? Yes. But apparently it's either not going to happen, he doesn't think he has the license to do that, or he doesn't have the license to do that. One of those three. But that's not going to happen, and McDaniel has to realize that.
I mean, look.
Or the people backing McDaniel have to realize that.
The game wasn't lost or won on the fade throw, and I get that the game was lost in the final minutes.
Talking about a 1-point game, Cap, that's not that play, because again, the defense getting one stop would have won us the game. Sure, that's why people feel like they have license to blame the defense. You know what I mean? But
I mean, look,
in reality, bro, in a 1-point game, like.
The Dolphins had 13 possessions in that game, including the final possession, right? And that includes now remember, off of the fumble recovery, 4 plays, 2 yards. Okay. Another touchdown. They had, let me get it up here real quick. 3 plays, 7 yards for a touchdown. Then another touchdown, 4 plays, 8 yards for a touchdown. Yet the Dolphins still had time of possession and more opportunities with 13 possessions, while the Titans had 12. Now, I could say that these types of stats would really point that Dolphins in possession, they did what they did. This kind of is more against the defense. But the defense gave, if you take out those numbers that I just said and went to plain, you can't say the defense didn't do their job. The defense did their job. They had one reel back. Offense just needed to keep one drive alive in that fourth quarter at any given moment, and it would have been fine. But they didn't do that. They didn't. And that's where we're at fault. And it wasn't that, I mean, listen, one of the possessions, the first of the 2 final possessions for the Dolphins, they ran the ball. The final of the 2, because now we're down, we had to throw. And that's what you got to do when your back's against the wall with no timeouts and a minute and change left. You got to throw the ball.
The worst defense in the NFL can tee off on that.
I mean, listen, I would have liked to, we had plenty of time. I would have liked to seen a draw play or something to that effect. But that ain't where the game was lost in those moments, but the game was lost in totality because of the offense not being able to execute. The loss of Tyreek Hill shouldn't cripple everything on this offense. It shouldn't do that. And I get it. He is great. Not good, great. He will get it. His head will be in a bust one day. We all know it. All of that stuff. But dang,
I can tell you that's likely why when he got up from that injury, like when he finally popped up and kind of jogged off the field, that's precisely when the MVP chant started in the stadium. And when he came back into the game after being in the tent for a little while, that's also another point at which the MVP chant started. If you listen to Hard Knocks, if you listen really close, When he first pops up from the injury, you can start to hear it, but they fade out the volume of the crowd noise in the show. I mean,
Well, he's the MVP of this team, and if he's the MVP of this team, and we're gonna pick one guy to win MVP of the NFL from the Dolphins, and it has to be him. And
well,
yesterday kind of put a cap on it.
well, there still is some kind of silver lining in the because this is absolutely the worst pathway we could have chosen to take to the top seed. But when I said last week that we have many ways to get there, this is one of the ways. It's just the hardest way. And the fact of it is, as only pertains to facing the Ravens and not even really facing the Ravens, because the other teams lost as I predicted they would this week, nothing has really changed. We still have to just win out to get the top seed. The difference is we didn't need that loss to be the Tennessee Titans. We needed it to be a better team because now
Yeah.
we have to face the two better teams and maybe even a third if they really are rectifying their season
Yeah.
in Buffalo.
And that's
So
yeah.
now that
That's
doesn't mean
now
it's
it gets
not
dicey.
possible. It's just that you get the win against Tennessee, and now that padding that you have, that loss that you could sustain, which we could have come against the team like Dallas or Buffalo, or hell, you even lose one against your division rival, the Jets. But it just couldn't come against Baltimore. Now, that being said, if we do take this loss to heart and we learn from something from it, and our team does realize that, look, we're going to have to play that much better against Dallas because we can't even play good against Tennessee and win. That may benefit us in the long run and we get right and pull off a win against Dallas, in which case we do have a good, look, we haven't beaten these types of teams yet, so I'm not going to say we have a good possibility or a good chance of winning out. I'm just saying that if we can get out our heads out our ass, there is a chance we can run the table and still get this top seed. That being said, fuck Buffalo, man. These people that are like, oh my God, might lose the division against Buffalo. Let me put it into perspective for you. If Buffalo doesn't lose one more ball game, which they have to play Dallas as well.
Yeah, I know.
If they don't lose one more ball game, we simply have to get to 12 wins. That's it. As long as that fifth loss doesn't come to them.
Bills fans showing their delusion is showing because they're talking about how this is going to write the greatest story of comeback. I'm sorry. Listen, even if this writes them
Well, if
all
they
the
pull
way
that off,
back,
then kudos to fucking them. I mean, what are we supposed to say? If what they're calling for is such an astronomical low probability that if they pull it off, then great for them. I just wouldn't go bet my farm on it.
no, they're idiots, and we know it. The deal is this: we're going to be looking. Listen, don't look through the Jets. Jets are, feeling themselves. I'm not saying
Well, bet that, Capitan. The last night's game has obviously finally broke the bubble as far as we lost at home. We lost to a bad team. We didn't blow out a bad team, even if we would have won. You know what I mean? So that bubble is burst now, bro. The only reason I've been hold on real quick. The only reason I've been so hard in the paint in positivity and about, let's look past these teams, it's because we haven't proven to have been affected by it yet. Well, last night we were. So bet that there is no more. We are going to sit here and talk and go through the minutia this week of properly assessing how we're going to beat the Jets. We have to do that now because our team can't burn 4 fucking minutes of clock. Excuse my French.
Well, I'll say this, and everybody hit the like button. If you look at a season, right? and this goes with every NFL team. We beat the Jets, and say we lose. Well, we run the table. We win we win first, but say we lose one more. I don't care who you pick it to, but we win the 2 out of the final 3, but we beat the Jets. So we win 3 out of the final 4. You'll look at the win-loss column, and there's that one game that every team shouldn't have lost a game to. I mean, that's just how it goes. That's everybody. And I'm willing to let that be the case. Don't come out here with a hangover giving me the excuses of why we lost this game if we drop one to the Jets, because now my hair's on fire. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm turning up and then some.
Well, I'd like to
Because
believe that the character of our players so far has shown that something like this is going to hurt them to the core, where they're going to sit there and stew over it, and they realize that the only way they can do anything to make it feel better is to get right and take it out on the Jets.
yeah,
I mean, that's
it's
all
a
you
get
can
right
do.
game against the Jets. It's a get right game against the
You know,
Jets. And you
you
really
can't, and that's what burns about it to them, is that they can't do anything about it for 6 days or whatever. It's like they got,
well, you
all
gotta
you
you
can do is
gotta you gotta
practice
play it
well,
smart.
and
You gotta play it smart too. I mean, listen, you need to get right against the Jets early and close them out, because we're coming on a short week at home against the Cowboys. We'll be playing on that Friday. So there's a lot to consider on all sides of the Dolphins schedule at this point. Luckily, we're playing at home, but
I mean, according to Hard Knocks, judging by watching Hard Knocks, it looked like they were in the right mindset. It looked like they were, smart about not
well, I
looking
don't
at the Titans. I mean,
they
they
didn't
weren't
overlook them,
practicing
that's for
well,
sure, and it
but
wasn't like they weren't taking it, judging from Hard Knocks, obviously, but they weren't taking it lightly, obviously, and I don't expect that out of anybody. Defense definitely didn't take it lightly, and I'm not saying the offense did,
I mean, how does
but
me taking the Titans lightly affect them? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it
yeah,
looked to
no,
me
that's not
on
how it
Hard
works.
Knocks like they weren't looking through them.
But
You heard whoever it was talking, yo, we got to do this and that, and we can get the top seed, and everybody's talking about that online. What'd they say? None of it matters. He's like, oh, that don't matter. We just got to take care of what's on our plate. They seemed like they had the right mindset.
yeah, I agree. But they gotta turn the page on this and get out and take care of their
But
business,
is that just
because
Is that just the empty words? Like,
well,
is it
I
just
mean,
something you
Color, look,
say and
I
you don't
said it
really you
earlier
have no
though.
more believe, like you really live it, like
Offense looked like it was the offense looked like it was struggling during the week heading into that. I can remember, Tua's had a couple of bad throws that we've seen in Hard Knocks that he was not feeling up good. Also, Tyreek Hill was like, "Yeah, I'm kind of tired," whatever the hell he said. I mean, there was a little bit affecting these guys offensively, and that hangover continued into Monday night, and let's hope this is a bounce back. Coach said it after the game. This is adversity, a way to learn. Um, let's put this packet away and get better from it. And as long as they do that, we're going to be fine. Losing Connor Williams is a blow. It really is. But that ain't going to matter to me, because this team is too talented, bro.
Well,
It
bottom
is.
line is we made the critical mistake that the Chiefs made by losing to the Packers. And yeah, we've made that mistake. And here it is. We have to do something about it. And the only thing we can do about it to rectify it, if you're looking to get the top seed, is win every game in front of you. Go 4-0. Season starts right now, and we got to go 4-0.
Well, Coach even said it. He said every game is a must-win game right now. He said it. He's got that mentality. Saying every game is the biggest game of the year right now, because it's all so meaningful. Where you seed, where you sit, where you are is only going to stay there or go up if you win. You lose one, you turn around and you're down. You're fourth. Fuck, you're out of the playoffs. You lose 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's a race to the top, And we were there and able to control that. And we still do. We win against the Jets. We win against the Cowboys. And then we beat the Ravens. And we'll be back in top, keeping everyone else out of arm's reach. Then we just have to handle business last game of the year against the Bills. Easier said than done, obviously,
Yep.
but you understand my point.
Exactly. Hey,
So-
are you able to grab that picture over that Ali texted us earlier to share with
No.
No, here, I'll go over to my desktop and get it on there.
No, I'm not. I don't even know what it is. Let's see. Manson, chill. I'm a Cowboy fan this week. I hear you. Eichenberg, Shelby. I just need Tyreek Hill is day to day. Gonna take a back seat at practice this week as far as reps go. They're gonna give him all the rest that he needs. They need to take this opportunity and work out with Waddle running that Tyreek Hill role. They got to be able. I mean, Waddle's great. Waddle's a great football player. He can do it, and figure a way to facilitate the ball to some of these other guys that have talent on this team. You know, I want to see more out of Braxton Berrios. I want to see more out of Chase Claypool. I want to see more. You know, I want to see Chase Claypool at all. You know, that's all. Alec Ingold in the passing game. I mean, damn, has the guy dropped any passes been thrown to him? I can't remember the last time Alec Ingold didn't catch a ball thrown his way. We need to figure out a way to utilize the rest of the talent, not the scheme is, hey, Waddle or Hill does this, which is going to allow so-and-so to get open. No, let's just, for the betterment of the rest of the talent on the team, let's use it without Hill.
So I don't
Let's see.
chat. I don't see him in chat, but I think Ali has located Banana at Hard Rock.
Oh, Bahana?
Yeah, Banana, yeah.
Yeah, Bahana.
There he is, right there.
There he is, right there. Behana. Yeah, he was in chat earlier. There he is. We got you, dog. We see you.
Shout out to Banana. Banana.
So look, I'm gonna do a film breakdown tomorrow.
The sun rose today, Cap.
Yeah, I'm not
gonna rise tomorrow. You know,
listen, I was super pissed yesterday.
We still got 5 more wins than we do losses.
I'm still pretty pissed off because I hold this team, this offense, especially the best offense in the NFL, to a far and away better standard than they put on yesterday on Monday night with the world watching. That's my gripe. These narratives could have got crushed if the offense put together one length of the field drive and punched it in the end zone and had this game won by a point even. I don't care. It would have been enough to really put a it would kill all these narratives. But now I got to deal with them. And even if we beat the Jets, that narrative still lives until we beat the Cowboys on Christmas. So this is something we're going to deal with for the next 2 weeks. The narrative goes in a completely other direction if we lose against the Jets. Oh, my God. It'll be the Dolphins can't win in December. They're frauds. As you see in this fraud of Dolphins it's going to continue. It's going to continue. And they're the only ones that could stop it. We can come out here and fight it all we want, but they got to stop it, and they can. And I'm hoping that they do, but it won't be this week against the Jets. Jets, we beat the brakes off the Jets. It'll be it's Zach Wilson. You should beat the brakes off the Jets. Damn, we just outclassed them not too long ago. It was a couple weeks ago. We just whooped up on them. We're gonna do it again. Get right game against the Jets. Put them away early, and then we'll bring in the backups to close out the game with Mike White in at quarterback, so we can give the guys some rest for the Friday game on Christmas Eve. That's what I'm hoping for. That's the Dolphins team I expect. That's the Dolphins team I've seen. That's what I expect to see this weekend. I'm going to do film breakdown of the miscues, missed opportunities, and I'm not going to be nice about it. I'm going to be very critical because I know there was tons of plays left out there, and then we're gonna move past it. I'm gonna do probably a film breakdown of the Jets because they had, they were turning it on last week, and we need to look at that. So, it is on a Sunday, the Christmas Eve game. I thought it was on a Friday.
No, it's Monday.
I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Fuck it. Anyhow, guys, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. And Q, keep a lookout for those breakdowns. I'm gonna be putting them in. And we'll catch you guys next time. Fins up, everybody.